Boom! Good day, everybody. How's it going today? Thank you guys. It's Thursday morning. Rise with the Wealth Warriors once again. And we have a great show for you guys, bringing on a multimillionaire, guys. So stay tuned. If you guys are watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And let us know where y'all are watching from, okay? I'm up in Northern Alberta, Canada. I'm Nathan Bokers, and that's my partner, Daniel Cho, down in Tucson, Arizona. So, Daniel, say hello real quick before we bring on Joel.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I see Nicole, Tony. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. And today we're gonna have a very special interview. Okay, and let's just bring out the main event, Joe. Let's introduce him to everybody.
Absolutely. Let's get him on here. Oh, let me unmute you. There you go. Good morning, Joel. How's it
Good
going?
morning, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate having you guys having me here.
Oh, good to see you. We have a legend on the show. Okay, so let's dive right into it. We have a lot of people waiting for this. Nate, you start first.
Yeah, so excited to have you on, brother. We come from a similar background, I guess, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. But just for those who don't know who Joel is, right? Can you give us a little breakdown of who you are, where you what's your background, where you came from, right? And what got you into the online space?
For sure. I definitely, and we share a little bit of this. We took the path, the unbeaten path. In 2012, I went down with a crime. I committed a crime, and it was my fault. I was there. I did it. I did everything. I admitted to it. It was a violent crime. I got into a fight, used a knife, that kind of stuff. So not to keep it very violent, because I know some of this is on TikTok. But you guys can look it up a different time. What it was for me, though, was a transformation, because at the time I was a drug addict. I was an alcoholic. I was a bad parent. I was all the bad things. But in that moment and in the time that I spent 7 years in jail. It was a long transformation. Didn't happen overnight. Lots of going to NA meetings, lots of dealing with my character, people that I hang around. And one of the things was another inmate gave me a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Familiar with the book?
The book, yeah.
A life-changing, yes, a life-changing book. And anyone in the audience watching this now haven't read it yet, it is Mindset 101 to Success. It really is. Most of us, the 99%, and I call us the 99%, we were raised on the poor dad teaching. And poor dad teaching in the book is all, it's work hard, right? Go to school, get good grades, all that stuff. Rich dad would say, look, work on business education, financial education. Don't work hard, work smart. Get your own financial corporate ladder instead of climbing the corporate ladder. So all of these mindset shifts were going on at the same time. I was clean from drugs and alcohol. I was understanding my crime, understanding my abuse, going to therapy, understanding all of these things, and turning myself into this mindset of entrepreneur. I can build my own thing. I can build my own business. That's when my mom sent me a book called Get Rich Click, not Quick, Click, and it was all about affiliate marketing. It was the first business model that I figured out in my little jail brain, in my little world. I said, I could start this online when I get home. You know, I'm going to be on parole. I can't really move around. It's going to be hard to find a job. I have no options left. And sometimes in life, when your back is pressed against the wall that way, Nathan, that's when things are, that's when you're tested. And some of you guys watching this now have been around the make money online world for a long time now. And I know that a lot of you guys jump from program to program to program and make excuses. Maybe your back needs to be pressed against the wall sometimes. A lot of you guys have the map and you just need that kick in the butt because you're making excuses. I didn't have that option. And sometimes that's a benefit. What would you do if you didn't have the option of getting these guys training, right, going through it and not implementing? What would you do? I had no other option. Yes, I had a little job, but it definitely was not going to lead to a life of freedom, passion, and fulfillment. I promise you that. So I had to make a choice and sacrifice. All the times I said to my mentor, I don't want to go live on Facebook. I don't want to do all this. He didn't care. And he said, if you want the result, you have to put in the work. And I agreed. You have to put in the work. So that's me in a nutshell. 5 years later, came home in 2019. We started an offer called the affiliate franchise because we saw that there was a problem with affiliate marketing, way too techie for the average person. And we had the tech skills. So we said, we'll build the business for them. We scaled that to $1 million on ClickFunnels, if you can see there. And then we moved and we've been teaching more of a community-centered mindset in your business. Because look, the funnel is not necessary at all. We realized not only was it too complicated for a beginner, it's not even necessary. A lot of times the funnel could actually kill your business because it's only going to have a 20% opt-in. What we found is the community has a 40% join rate. What we found in the email list is that it has a 20% open rate. What we found over here on school is you have a 50 to 80% engagement rate. Ultimately, you want to be talking to your audience. You want to be in front of them as much as possible so they can consume your content. So we've removed all of those barriers. There's no funnel whatsoever. And instead, we build the community and we build your front end, which is usually Instagram or Facebook, to bring people into your community. That way you can sell affiliate offers to them. You can sell courses to them. You can sell MRRs to them, which is what we're promoting your guys' program. You can sell so many things to them and monetize your community in so many ways. So that's what we're about now, community-focused marketing. And I learned that, believe it or not, from NA in prison. Narcotics Anonymous. What helped me beat my drug addiction and everything, was that support, the mentorship, the people that are all, the community is so important. If you guys don't have that, if you don't got mentors like Nate and Daniel, get them. Having the right people in your corner, maybe that's what's been missing the whole time.
I can feel this is going to be a great show already. Joe, right?
I hope you guys sat down for this one, all right?
Is sharing gold nuggets right off the gate. Yes, this will lead to my next question, okay? I see Sandy tuning in, Kimberly, Alex, thank you guys for tuning in, okay? And also some people on YouTube as well. So Joe, so you've turned your life around in such a dramatic way, okay? But what was that turning point for you, okay, that made you decide to completely change your future?
That is an amazing and brilliant question. And I love this because everyone has their rock bottom. And here's mine right here. And I mentioned earlier that I was a bad father previously to my jail time. I don't think good fathers go to jail. I don't think that that's, sometimes people lie and I'm a good father. You're not a good father if you're not present for your kids. So that's number one. I had to swallow that pill and say, I'm a bad father. Number one, I'm not there even when I am around. But going to jail, taking myself out of my children's lives, I'm a bad father. You have to admit the problem first before you can fix it. So that was number one, because when I finally saw my daughter, mind you, it was 4 years since I had last seen her. Me and her mother did not get along very well. But once we did start patching things up, because I was cleaning myself up and her mother did see some of the changes in me, thank God. She was bringing my daughter now for a visit. And when I finally saw my daughter for that visit, I walked past her. I went and asked the guard, where's my visitors? Where's my daughter? I'm waiting for, she's over there. And when I turned around, I don't recognize that person. I didn't realize how much that hurt me until I got back to my cell, because obviously we have our visit, we hug, we have a good time, and we talk. But when I got back to my cell, tears were falling down my face, brother. And I'm not afraid to show any emotion on this stuff, because that was huge for me. Think about the ingredients that I'm talking about right now. Getting clean from drugs, alcohol, hanging around the right people, success-minded. Believe it or not, there are success-minded people in prison that are just as sick and tired as I was. And I got around those people. Every day we talked success. Every day we talked about breaking that cycle, positive mindset, thinking entrepreneurship, building something. We were talking charities. We were talking all kinds. We dream. We want to dream when we're in there, right? So I'm telling these guys, I had a visit today and I didn't recognize my own daughter. That's when I'm bawling, I'm crying. These guys are in my NA. They're hugging me out, you know, all that. Hey, man, that's the universe telling you it's time to make a thing change. It's time. This is it. So that cocktail of reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad and all that, I'm going to go home. I'm going to start this business. I don't care what challenges there will be, because there will always be challenges. Anything in life worth doing should be hard. Shame on you if you're looking for the easy way.
Wow. Such a powerful story, okay? I hope you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this interview so far, okay? We're just getting started. Give us number one down below if you feel that impact from Joe, okay? I want you guys, maybe some of you, right? You live under debt, right? But look at Joe, okay? Maybe your back is not against the wall yet, okay? But borrow some of that energy, because you need to burn the bridge in order to get to your destination, okay? Nate, jump in for the next question.
1 second.
I'll ask the next one first, okay? So, all right, so Joe, talking about that, you made that decision, okay? And you decide to change. So what were the biggest challenges that you faced starting out after prison? And how did you overcome those challenges, initial challenges, to build your empire?
Oh, that's man, you thought about these questions.
Because you just
You
like
thought of-
everybody else, right? Starting from complete scratch without knowing nothing about it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, even starting from prison, mindset. Let's start there. Number one. There's a lot of people in this space, and I've worked with a lot of you guys. Some of you guys in this audience, you're a carbon copy. You think that you're different. There's so many people that come into the make money online space. They're coming from the same places. So I know where you're coming from. Mindset wise, I was surrounded by complete garbage. There was a couple good guys, like I talked about. I tried to hang around them, but garbage, right? This is society's wastebasket. This is jail. So it's very easy to get into dumb stuff, criminal thinking. So I had to clean that up first. So a lot of you guys in your life, whether you're hanging around family with negative mindsets, best friends, co-workers with negative mindsets, every time you have an opinion on something and you want to do better, they're shooting you down. Get rid of those people now. That's step number one. We can't nod our head harder, because you will know that the minute that they start texting you to hang out and you're saying, no, I'm good, and you're working on, reading an educational book about online business, something to better yourself, you'll start to notice a huge difference right there. A lot of you guys, 90% of the problem is just that. Once you start cutting those people out, and it's like, sometimes, side note, sometimes I will hear somebody come to me and be like, oh, on Reddit, people were saying negative things about affiliate marketing, because the people that are doing good don't take time to write stuff on Reddit. We're busy with our businesses.
Right? Yeah, it's true. The mindset's a big one, man. Especially coming from like our backgrounds and stuff. Like you said, like we had our backs against the wall. Even like Daniel, me and you. I particularly, I did jail time years and years ago. I think it was like 16 years ago now, right? Like I got out, but I ended up getting into heavy equipment, and then if I realized that's not paying the bills, right? I was still working 16-hour days, right? So then I got into truck driving, right? And I did that for 8 years. And that's when I found Dave Sharp and his Legendary Marketer. And then they had me read this book. Just like you said, right? This book literally changed my entire mindset. I was driving down the off-highway haul roads, right? With 150,000 pounds of logs behind me, listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad through the back roads, just cruising down these roads, listening to this book, right? And that's what got me, man. That's what got my mindset into it, was this book right here, right? I had an audio version on my phone, and I played that on my, I think it was like a $16,000 stereo system buddy had in this truck, dude. Like he had speakers everywhere in this truck. It's the only reason why I still worked for that guy. I hated my boss, but I loved the truck more, right? So like me and you come from a similar background, right? We've been in prison. We've had that hard shake, right? I was an addict on the streets for 8 freaking years, right? So I lost my teeth over it, right? I don't know if you've seen the first start of my journey back in 2021, right? But I actually went on the Legendary Marketers Wake Up Legendary show with Dave Sharp with no teeth in my mouth. My first 4 months online, I had absolutely no teeth in my mouth. You think people judge you? Try going online, making TikToks with no damn teeth in your mouth, and you want to see judgment?
Right.
But that didn't stop me, right? That it just motivated me more, right? A lot of people, they're too self-confident. I mean, they're too self-conscious, and they're too scared to put themselves out there. And it's quite crazy, because just putting yourself out there can actually change your entire life. Like Daniel, he was sitting at $35,000 credit card debt, lawsuit from credit card company, right? Yep. All three of us, our backs were against the walls. Like you said, like we didn't have any other options, right? I was driving truck. I was making decent money. But like you said, you're not a parent unless you're a present parent, right? I was working 12, 16-hour days. I missed the first 6 years of my daughter's life growing up because of a job, right? So like it's pretty crazy, because like people all like, oh, I don't want courses, people buying courses for selling. Dude, I spent $3,500 to take a trucking course to get my class 1 trucking license in 1 week. That was with an in-driver trucking, like an in-driver training and everything, right? Basically a mentor, right? And me spending that on a course and stuff, I still was working paycheck to paycheck. I was not getting that family time. So I totally understand your background, man. That's why I was excited to get you on here, was because me and you come from we come from almost pretty much the same background, right? And for you to sit there, 2 multi-million-dollar awards sitting behind you, right? And we're going to get into this a little bit more, but we were just talking right before the show. You don't have that big of an audience, which is pretty damn crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you this one question. What was the first digital marketing opportunity that gave you the hope and showed you that you could be on your way out with this? Like, what was that one, maybe not program, but what was that mindset and skill that really took you to like, okay, I can freaking take this to the moon. I can build an empire with this.
That's a very good question. I started off with affiliate marketing. I think a lot of people who get to some larger stage later on, almost a lot of the 8-figure, 9-figure earners that I had the pleasure to meet or at least chat with in some capacity have said, a lot of them have said they've started with network or affiliate marketing in the online space, and that was kind of their first venture. And it's weird that it was mine too. I think it's like a psychological thing. When you're first starting off, the idea of I don't have to create a product or reinvent the wheel is really appealing. So that's what kind of draws you in. But I think that what people are not expecting, and the part that helps you grow as an individual, is now the part where you learn the marketing. Because people like the affiliate part. And they're, oh, wow, I don't have to make my own products and all the pages are set up for me and everything. I can be an affiliate. Yeah, that takes 2 seconds. The marketing part takes a lifetime of mastery.
Right.
Lifetime of mastery. The more that you make, understand this, guys, the more that you make is a reflection on the value that you can deliver to a marketplace. A lot of guys trapped in the 9-to-5, since Nathan brought up he still worked at the 9-to-5 for all those years. A lot of times people complain about their pay. That's because your value is dictated by one person, your boss, one person. So when you decide to become an entrepreneur, it's quite literally deciding that you are worth more, because you're going to deliver value to as many people as you possibly can. Now, all you have to do is fill yourself with value. Think about yourself as like an empty pitcher, right? Fill yourself with that value water. It's that a lot of people are beginners and they complain they don't have sales or commissions, and they go, oh, I don't have any yet. Well, you don't have enough value yet to deliver yet. Obviously, you're not ready. Your journey is different than the next person's journey. You have to go and study more, pay more attention, enjoy the journey. So I started with affiliate marketing. I didn't make a single freaking penny for about 8 months. 8 months of humiliation, because remember, guys, I was dedicated. My life was all about, this is going to work. I'm going to do this, not maybe, not kind of, not dip my toe in the water. A lot of you guys try. God, I hate that word try. Don't try this stuff. Don't try it. Don't try it. Do it. So when I decided to do it, it took me 8 months. I'm not saying you guys it'll take a lot, the same time, because I didn't have any help. I was watching YouTube videos and trying to figure this crap out. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't recommend it. Pay for help. So once I made my first dollar online, it was the partner of this, which is .com Secrets, $1 commission after 8 months. It was not about the dollar, guys. It was about the fact that I can make money online. It was the realization that this is real. So a lot of you guys are chasing a lot of money, but really you just need that one. You just need that one penny. That's just like, that's going to get you to double down and double commit. Because I was burning out. 8 months is a long time.
Right.
That's a long time.
People would have already given up at that time.
I'm like, I don't know if I could do this again. There's 8 months. I haven't seen a penny. But it finally hit the account. Boom, $1 commission. That was everything I needed at that point. So you guys, you have to hang in there. If you're doing this course or any other course, if you quit, you're starting all over again. You cannot quit. People think that like jumping from a program to a program is, oh, it's fine. No, you're quitting and starting all over again. When you lose all momentum, it's like you just flushed your money down the toilet. So stick to one program and do it all the way until you get to your result.
Powerful. Yeah. Okay, going back to that's actually very powerful tip right there. Give us number 2 down below, okay, if you guys are taking this together with you, okay. Joe, you talked about before the show, right? Nate brought this up already. You mentioned that you actually don't have a huge audience. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that for beginners or for people who are looking at you or looking at this business, they think in order for them to be successful, they need to have a huge audience or have a huge following. So share some tip with us, okay? I mean, how did you become multi-millionaire with such a tiny audience?
Well, here's the principle of having a small audience. And this is why I moved to teaching people how to build a community, because it's not about going a mile wide and an inch deep online. Really, any beginner can start and make a significant amount of money if they build the relationship as fast as possible with a single lead. Think of each lead you're getting in your business, not as leads, but as relationships, as potential relationships. I tell people, don't build funnels, build flywheels. Don't get leads, get relationships, right? The more that someone knows, likes, and trusts you, they become a customer for years, weeks, months, residual over and over again. So when I first started off, I concentrated all of my energy on, well, it was all on Facebook, by the way. All Facebook organic was how I started off. And I started concentrating all of my energy on building a Facebook group. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, add value to yourself. In this book, he talks about movements. He talks about people want to follow someone because they're building a movement. They want a new opportunity, a new way. So when I built the infamous mob, that was my movement. The infamous Joel's the leader, the message. We are down, broken, outcast. We're the infamous mob. But we're here to tell you guys, right? We're here to tell you guys, hey, you can shove us into your 9-to-5s, because the 9-to-5 is a slave trap. Let's be honest. It really is. It's out of control. It's a monster. It's destroying people's lives. And how do I know that? Because supply and demand teaches us that. Supply and demand is telling us right now that a high school dropout who made it to 9th grade should be worth $2 million, and you should be worth $20 an hour. That's telling you that the creator economy is in higher demand than whatever job that you have right now. So there's no way to fix the 9-to-5. You can't fix it. You can't get a higher education. The inflation's going to eat you alive. You have to jump into a high paying skill set, and you have to jump into what the economy is telling you people are willing to pay for. They're willing to pay for creators. That's what you are as an affiliate marketer. You're a creator. You're a content creator. You're an influencer. You're just teaching people some kind of valuable thing like make money. So in turn, I focused on my community, my group. That way, I was able to scale a $2 million business with only maybe 4,000 people inside of my group. Now, I've moved a lot of that group over to school, completely free school community. You guys can check out how I build school communities and stuff for free in there. I show you guys how to do it. But that's my main thing. I tell people, even as a beginner, if you can gain the know, like, and trust, which Daniel showed, that's what they teach in the book. $9 book. Made me lots of money. Those principles are real. They're very true. If you build a movement, get people to know, like, and trust you, they will do business with you over and over and over again. So I've really sold to the same like 800 people over and over again for years. You know, I didn't build this massive following. So you don't need to do that. People think it's a volume game when it's really a relationship game. Those who can build the best relationships will win.
Yeah, I mean, if the people who are watching this, okay, I mean, in marketing, right? If you don't know this, especially if you're running your own offer, I mean, talk about the cost of acquiring a client. It's always more expensive to acquire a new client versus keep selling to the old clients, right? Yes. So everything is about relationship. Okay, let's say you guys make one sale, right? The customer journey with that particular customer doesn't stop there. Okay, that's why in our pub, right, Joe is also selling pub as well. Inside our pub, besides that product sale at the front end, you guys walk away with 100% commissions, right? Instant pay. We also have back end offers that's opening up to all pub sellers, right? So if you guys sell pub, your sales journey doesn't stop at that one-time sale. There are back-end sales that you guys gonna make. Okay.
I've always been a big one on build fans over followers, right?
100%.
That's even over the years. We always tell our clients and our students, build fans over followers, right? I'd rather have 10,000 raging fans than 100 or 500,000 freaking followers, right? It's just the way it is, right? Have people who align with you, right? And who your audience and your clients are going to be a lot like you for the most part. About 80% of your clients are going to be just like you, or the person you were 5-6 years ago, right? And that's what a lot of people need to realize when they're coming into this business. Instead of trying to sell to anybody and everybody, right? Build that fan base, right? And those fans will turn into clients and building an actual empire, right? So like, I love how you just brought that on. So if people don't freaking take note there's a golden nugget right there.
Huge.
So I'm going to ask one more question here.
Sweet.
Here's a good one. What were some of the biggest lessons you learned early on that help you scale your business to a multi-million-dollar empire? Like what was
very good question.
What was like those really good skills that everybody should be learning?
I say, so here's the thing. We call this the hustler route in our program, and it works no matter what. When I first started, I only had an affiliate offer. That's it. I sold a course. It was roughly $1,000 course, and I it's kind of like pop. I kept 100% of the profit because I paid for like a higher tier at the point. At that point. So that $1,000, it was huge because first skill that I learned, I was taking people who I was having join my group, and I was taking them to a sales call. The relationship gets 10 times deeper on a sales call. And I hate sometimes the make money online crowd because they want everything very easy. And when I tell them to go to a sales call, they're like, oh man, can I send an email or can I do? Yes, but it's going to get like a 10%, 5% versus a 90. Why would you? It's kind of like if you come to me and I'm a gym expert and I'm not, but if I was and I said to you, that, you know, doing squats is like the best leg exercise. You go, oh, but squats are so hard. Can't I go on this machine and lift my pinky toe? Stop being lazy. If you really want the hustler route, I say the fastest, quickest path to cash is conversations, get on calls. I used to go through Facebook Messenger and go through my group and just tell everybody good morning every day. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And just be nice and just try to get them lured in with my content. Obviously, know, like, and trust. Content. But what did Gary Vee say? The jab, left hook. As soon as I can, I want to get them to a call to see if they'll work with me. Or at that time, I had the $1,000 course, so I'd close them on the course, right? But nothing is getting the know, like, and trust factor faster. Nothing than a direct conversation. Think about it. If they've even seen one piece of your content, even one video, and it's 5 minutes long. I don't care if it's the welcome video in your community or something you have on Instagram. I don't care what it is. And then you pop up and you do a Zoom call with this potential lead. No matter what you're selling, you're going to close the sale about 80, 90% of the time. So that's what I call the hustler route. The first thing I learned and the fastest path to cash is conversation. Once I learned that, I started having funnels and email lists and all that is great for long term. You want to remarket to people, but that was a little hack. And that's what we teach in our program. A lot of times, you're a beginner, take your offer and get out to the marketplace and just make offers. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, the internet is just people. And at the end of the day, you need to get your offer in front of as many people as humanly possible. And you'll hear a lot of no's, but you'll hear yeses. And those yeses at $1,000 a clip got me 10K months in my sleep when I was first starting. When I figured that out, it was like, why didn't I do this the whole time? You know, that's it. I was spending a lot of my time spent like making YouTube videos and trying to drive traffic the long way. Honestly, if you get any conversations going, have conversations. And people, oh, I don't want to talk to strangers. Then you're going to have a hell of a hard time running a business because everyone in your business is going to be a stranger. So once you decide to serve the public, I'm sorry, you're going to work with strangers. So if you hate people, don't have a business at all. So, and you get used to it. Over time, I talk to people every day, whether chat, phone, Zoom. I talk to customers, not customers. Who cares? There's people. Everyone's trying to solve problems. And if you put the solution in front of them, they're going to buy it. But if you're not having conversations and you're relying on being the one post that they see out of 10 million other posts, you're playing games. Get straight to the conversation.
So what a powerful tip right there. Yeah.
That's one of the things though, right? Like with me and Daniel, we're always praising and telling our students 3 skills you really need to focus on when starting an online business: marketing, sales, and copywriting.
100%.
Those 3 skills right there will get you to 7 figures. 100%. Master those 3 skills and you'll never work a job again.
Never.
Yeah. Like a lot of marketers, we all marketers, right? We can sell anything we like. And a lot of people market the program. Of course, people like easy route, push a button, come, right? So a lot of people say like you don't need to do nothing, or they try to make it sound like you don't need to do nothing. Everything is automated, right? Then, so a lot of people end up, they just focus in on posting all day long, right? They don't even care about the conversation. And they are wondering why they keep posting every single day, but they still don't get results, right? Because just like Joe mentioned, okay, it's all about conversation. It's all about conversation, right? I mean, all method works, okay? You can purely rely on funnel, emails, right? Do nothing else. That's 1% conversion rate, right? And if you talk to people in DM, right? Let's say you are just average, okay? You are working on minimum 10% or more. That's 10 times difference. If you are a business owner, do you want to have 10 times more results? To me, the answer is yes, right? If you can do like Joe is teaching, bringing people to the call, you might get 40-50% as minimum. That's 40-50 times difference. Why wouldn't you want to do it, right? So when people come to me, right, and they are not making sales, then after I talk to them, I realize they don't even talk to their prospects at all. I think that's the biggest mistake that people are making.
Absolutely, man. It's people. The money is outside your comfort zone, pretty much, right? And that's where it comes down to, right? Always outside your comfort zone, man. And if you want to make more, get more uncomfortable, right?
Right.
It's literally that simple, right? A lot of people, they're struggling right now because they're in a comfort zone, right? They're comfortable working a 9 to 5. They're comfortable living paycheck to paycheck. They're comfortable working a job till they're 50 years old, right? And that's what holds a lot of people back, is that comfort, right? When you start pushing yourself outside that comfort zone, man, that's where the real money comes. That's when you really truly find who you are as a person too, right? Because like, I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. I am a totally different person, man. Like my mindset, my fatherhood, right? I actually get to be there around my kids. I get to watch them grow up. I get to be there when they come home from school, right? I get to go to their concerts, right? Now I'm a hockey dad. I just signed my kid up into hockey, right? So now I get to be a hockey dad, right? So though me pushing myself outside my comfort zone, especially 4 years ago when I found this online business, I was probably one of the most skeptical people you ever thought, right? I thought everything online was a fucking scam, right? Right? So like I pushed myself outside that comfort zone and look where it got me, right? It's same with like you and Daniel, right? We all, every day we're pushing ourselves outside that comfort zone to even learn more skills, higher skills that are going to take us to that next level, right? So yeah, that's
if I can, I want to touch base on something because I think is super important to dive deep on this, the work ethic. And the reason that I chose you guys to be the affiliate program that I recommend inside my own program is because you put the right word first: passion over profits. I think that this make money online world, you said about the skepticism, I see it every day. I had it myself. You had it yourself. And I think it's honestly, I get it. It's rightfully so. I think the Warrior Plus, community of the worlds and stuff like that have like ruined this whole online business stuff, because from a marketing standpoint, you have to understand, guys, that everyone wants everything now, and they want it as easily as possible. From a marketing standpoint, it is smart for us gurus. I put it like this because I don't know, I get called a guru and I'm like, I'm not a guru, but let's just say that, right? It's better for us to make it sound faster, easier, quicker, because that's what people buy. If you look at it, it's the truth in any industry. Fitness, the Abinator 5000, put the thing here and all of a sudden you have abs in a week. Everyone wants the easiest, stupidest, corniest thing, right? The Warrior Pluses of the world, the ClickBanks of the world ruined everything for everybody because now everybody wants to affiliate. Isn't that get rich quick thing? If you listen to anything online, right? I'm not telling you what to listen to. I'm telling you, everyone watching this, to go with your own gut, go with your own research, go with your, don't listen to the guru on the webinar. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone. Go with your own gut, do your own research, make sure it makes sense to you before you make any purchases or anything. Always do that. But one thing I can tell you for sure, if someone tells you in any kind of marketing whatsoever that you're going to make all this money and at this, at this clip really, really fast, you should immediately start questioning things. Immediately, because like Nate says, the time it takes to learn sales, marketing. What was the other one? Sales, marketing,
copywriting.
Right, copywriting. Yeah. So those things, man, and I could probably name a lot of other skills too. But geez, so the gap from where I was knowing how to turn on a freaking cell phone after I came out of jail to 8 months not making a penny. Now it makes sense, right, guys? Because I'm starting from complete zero. So a lot of you guys at least know how to use Instagram. So you have a head start. So, but you do have to adapt and find the work ethic kind of program. So when you guys said passion over profits and I went through your training, I felt confident promoting it to my guys because I'm all about, hey, real business, real results. That means real work. That means real. You have to develop real 1% skills, the stuff that 99% of people are not going to take their time and learn. Like they're going to watch Netflix instead. You're going to be learning. If that's a sacrifice you're willing to take for the next year, you're going to be a millionaire too. It's not that hard, guys. I didn't get lucky. You just put the right effort and time into the right things. I'm not telling you to completely give up your life because I still watch Netflix, but make sure there's a time and a place for everything. But I wanted to jump in on that because the point of this is work. None of this is a scam, but I can see how people think that because of the culture that is bred from it. There's a faster way. Come on, man. No matter what, turn it off. At the end of the day, it's a real business. It is marketing. You're dealing with real people. You're selling to people. You're serving people. So you should feel good about it. That's another thing. It's not, if it feels like a scam and you're doing it, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
That's a different elephant in the room. But you should always sell something you believe in, whether it be affiliate or your own product. So that way it doesn't feel that way. So that's another thing to cross off your list as you're going around looking for affiliate products. But never a scam, just I think overhyped. And I think if people understood what actually went into it, and I love that you guys are very transparent of what goes into it, the amount of study. And these guys have worked a lot, guys. My God. I remember when I saw Nate first starting, he was posting every freaking day. I knew he was going to make it because of his consistency. His consistency was unbelievable. Better than me. I said, my God, I go post to have an idea. He has 7 posts already. And I knew he was going to crush it. And it took like maybe a year. He was already on the other side killing it and making crazy amounts of money. So anything you do works. It just takes momentum and time, and that curve is going to take a while, but you have to be patient with it. And I'm also going to blame some programs that over glorify, like you're going to make money in 5 days. We have to stop that too. I hate that stuff.
Like we got, like right now, like we're doing a 10K fast track in 12 weeks with our students currently right now. And we're literally every week we're walking them through step by step exactly how me and Daniel would go from 0 to 10K online, right? And exactly how me and Daniel went from 0 to 10K online, right? And we're showing them step by step every week. Plus, we're giving them homework to do, right? Which a lot of these programs, they're just here's some videos, here's this, come in, ask a few questions, and just get mediocre answers, right? With us, we're actually giving you guys real homework to actually do, right? And we call our students out on it. We've actually called our students out on some of it last night in our coaching call, right? That's what a lot of people are missing, right? Is that step-by-step direction, that support, right? That actual, not just same answer you'd give to every single person. No, people are different. People learn different, so they need different answers, right? And that's why, like the post I made yesterday or this morning, I guess, because I posted it yesterday. But like our POP program, our focus is on getting our students the best results they can get, right? But we also push our students, right? We push our students. We saw a problem in the marketplace, right? We spent over $100,000 of our own money in the past year. We bought all these MER programs, all these courses online. We invested in Dan Henry, invested in Richard Yu. We've worked with Jonathan Montoya, right? We worked with some big names in the industry. But we saw what was missing in the industry. The people are still coming to us from all these programs. Bringing all these programs are online. You got Legacy, you got Roadmap, you got UBC. We have students in every one of these programs who are in our program getting results with their products outside of our program instead of promoting us, right? When you learn the marketing skills, you can literally market anything. And that's what we try to install into our students' minds is you need to learn these skills because what your product you're promoting right now might not be around next year, right? Or it might die off, right? So you got to learn the actual skills so you can market any product that comes into the marketplace. I don't know about you, Joel, but me and Daniel, we're really good at finding those golden nuggets, those golden products that are about to take off in the marketplace, right? We jump on it, we ride that wave, right? And boom, right? Because a lot of products, they'll go, and then they'll dive, right? And we've seen it over the last few years. We've seen it happen in multiple programs, multiple products, even our own EIE coaching program. We spiked it up, and it all of a sudden, then it just tanked because the MER came into the industry, right? We were a high ticket affiliate marketing program at that time. And then MER came out and everybody wanted MER, right? So our sales just tanked, right? Because people wanted something else in the marketplace. So we adapted, we moved forward, we came up with an idea. And in just the last 6 months, we did over $100,000 with POP program, right? So it's a matter of adapting to the industry, right? These skills, you can take them on for years and years to come, right? And the thing is, they're so transferable, man.
Yeah, I
So,
love that.
sorry, I just
Love
got
that.
off topic there a little bit.
Good,
but-
good,
No,
good.
I love it. It's a good point, and I think another thing is that the mindset of buying one course and like that's going to be the end of it. You know, I love this idea that you guys have this community that is going on and on and on. That's another reason that I think the residual community is going to start taking over, because having that support system and the continued learning is going to be huge. I know, and you guys know, entrepreneurship is lifelong learning. It is not going to be a one course thing or one day. You know, these courses are meant to teach you a specific skill to make you some money and give you that life preserver so that you can continue to grow and continue building those skills. Over the years, I've taken sales courses and copywriting getaways, and you guys know there's all kinds of education. It gets deeper and deeper, and there's never a time you stop learning with this stuff. So I think that's a good value to take away too with the audience here, is that when you decide entrepreneurship, you're deciding a lifelong journey. You're making money, but you're always going to be learning. That's why rich people have big libraries and poor people have big TVs.
Powerful, powerful. All right. I mean, are you guys enjoying this interview so far? Give us number 9 down below, okay? Then we're gonna let you know. Okay, stay till the end. We're gonna let you know how you can follow Joe and also maybe get into his community. Okay, so make sure you watch this all the way till the end. I do have one question from me personally. Okay, and because I also see this problem with other people, especially beginners, but most people don't talk about it. So I want to pull some gold nuggets from you, Joe. So a lot of people, right, when they first started, okay, they tend to, I mean, they number one, okay, if they work their regular 9 to 5, right, like you mentioned earlier, the one person which is their boss determine their value. Instead, if they put them out there, the market will decide what your true value is, right? And market will pay you the fair proportion based on your value. But a lot of people don't do that because they're scared, right? Maybe they feel they don't worth that much subconsciously, okay? Most people won't admit, but that's self-worth, self-esteem, right? Issue. And when people first started, like you say, your initial journey was super struggle, right? Including myself, my initial 7-8 months of time, I couldn't make any money. And plus, my family member, right? I was not fortunate enough to have my family member back me up. They all questioning me, right? They say, Daniel, why can't you just be normal, right? Why can't you just be a normal guy? Go there, get another job, okay? So that further destroyed my self-esteem, okay? So the only reason I didn't quit was I didn't have any option, okay? And maybe part of my personality is I'm kind of stubborn, right? I want to make it work, so I don't quit. Okay, so how did you get through that journey? Did you also have that similar problem, like when you during that struggle period of time that also hurting your self-esteem? How did you pick yourself up?
Yes. So here's the cold hard truth that I found about that journey. I'm not gonna like toot my little victim horn here, but I had very low self-esteem when I started. Very, very low. And similar to your story, I had my mom always giving me like I lived with my mom when I came home. So I had no car. So I had a mentor early on who's telling me to go live on Facebook. And I'm like, and show what? And he's like, whatever. And I'm walking to work and I have my phone in front of me and I'm walking to work blocks and blocks to this forklift job. And I'm talking about affiliate marketing as a way to make money online. I haven't made a penny. Right. So yes, my back's against the wall and I'm doing it because my mentor said to do it. And I'm learning as I'm going along. But it was very humiliating. There was people leaving negative comments on my YouTubes. There was people leaving. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and tell you guys it's going to be easy and everyone's going to love you. They're not. There's going to be some nasty stuff, haters, and people, like Nathan said, people saying stuff is a scam. They say it on my videos still. I'm like, what part of what I said was a scam? But they're there. People exist and do that. And that's okay. Over time, you start to just get thick skin. But in the beginning, it sucks. It sucks because you have this dream, you have this goal, and people are crapping all over you, whether it be family or strangers on the internet. But I can tell you this, that it is the most rewarding experience and actually the best cure for low self-esteem ever. The person that's talking to you right now, that's coming out of this voice box and looking at this camera right now, would have never been able to jump on camera years ago and speak the way that they're speaking right now, expertly about marketing, about business, about believing in yourself, about positive energy. Baby, I would have never been able to do that stuff. Never. Very introverted, very low self-esteem, I'm a piece of crap. This guy had no teeth. What else do you want here? He had 0 teeth, right? So I am saying, yes, mindset shift. It is going to be hard. But instead of paying for a therapist, baby, let me tell you something. Doing this journey and becoming a full-on creator, I'm talking about opening up your heart and being everything you can possibly be. That's what giving your value to the marketplace is. It isn't just finding the best product you can possibly find. Anyone can sell that freaking product. I hate to tell you guys, anyone can sell it. I can sell this product better than anyone because of my value. That's a huge mindset shift. The time, the blood, sweat, and tears, the time that I took to put in to study this stuff, to go and enjoy courses and workshops like you guys, and the stuff you guys show up and ask questions, ask different mentors this, really study the game. I will make more money than anyone else with the same product, right? So think about that. How is there such a thing as affiliate boards, leaderboards? How is that possible? Sometimes the guys with smaller audiences end up on top of those leaderboards because they know what they're doing to have more skill. So yeah, so ultimately take the time to really make those things your serious priority. It will suck. There will be those times it sucks, especially in the beginning. Push through it because you're going to cure yourself afterwards. I can tell you now, having a community of people that follow me and love my content and reassure me and tell me I'm doing great and that I've inspired them in some way, shape, or form, that I've actually had people tell me it's something that I said in a video, inspired them to become an entrepreneur, and now they're teaching their kids how to run an affiliate marketing business, is every freaking thing in the world. Nothing will help your self-esteem more than that. But it is a journey and you will get there. Be passionate about what you're saying, but have actual intent behind your words. That's why it's important to decide those things up front. That way, when you become this amazing content creator that you're going to become, it's from a place of passion over profits.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for the tip. Okay, such a great interview. I hope this interview never end. Okay, so Joe, people find you online. Okay, we're gonna drop your contact information. Then they will finish the interview by asking one last question. Okay,
sure,
so how can people find you on the internet?
My main stuff is I'm going to be the infamous Joel on both YouTube and Instagram. And I have a free community called the Infamous Mob. And that's us, the Infamous Mob, on School. So if you guys search School, search the Infamous Mob, or just look at me on Instagram or YouTube. And I have the links there to join the free community. Plenty of free training. I do free lives in there, help you guys out. So yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
Take a screenshot. The infamous Joe, okay, on YouTube and also on Instagram, okay. Get together with Joe, such a great guy. You guys gonna learn a lot from Joe, okay? Nate,
that'll be the infamous Joel, guys. So you guys
beautiful.
can see it down there. And then this is his school community, the Infamous Mob. So you can actually just go on School platform and type in the Infamous Mob, and his community will pop up, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you guys go follow him, go hang out. I'm sure you've got tons of freaking value in your community as well. So
I try to deliver as much as I can.
Looking back on your journey, what would you say is the single most important decision or action that you took that transformed your life the most?
Ooh, that is a hell of a question.
I like it.
The last question that we're going to drop you.
That's one that's going to take a lot of thought. That's a hell of a deep question there. The one that has impacted my life the most. Whew, wow. I think I'm big. I'm at this stage where I'm big on mindset because I'm in a place where I can connect the dots looking backwards now. When I really look at everything I've done up until this point strategically, this is what people look for when they buy courses and all these things. They look for a strategy, and there's nothing wrong with that. They look for a concise strategy they can follow so they can have that step-by-step blueprint. I always say people don't buy information, they buy organized information. They want a blueprint, right? So I think the biggest shift for me was that understanding, because I don't think I understood this in the beginning. I think conceptually I understood it, but as I kept growing, I understood it more and more. The more 1% knowledge that I've filled my brain with, and then not just fill my brain with, but implement on that knowledge so that I can implement that knowledge, make mistakes with it, learn from it, sharpen it so that I get better with it. That's the value that they're talking about. They always say add value, add value, add value. That's your content. The value is the improvements you're making in your own character. So in Expert Secrets, he talks about this, the hero's 2 journeys. If you guys go back and replay this whole live, I use the hero's 2 journeys multiple times in some of my answers. right? I talked about my internal and external struggles. I talked about my rock bottoms. I talked about my discoveries. You naturally begin to talk this way when you've done marketing for so freaking long. I've made thousands of ads. I've made hundreds, maybe hundreds of thousands of pieces of content, whether training or video recordings of webinars or workshops or you name it. I'm just so used to being able to create content and market with people that my value as a person has increased. In order to be good at sales, you have to be good at serving. I've become a better service to my kids. I've begun a better service to my fiance. In order to be good at sales, you need to be good at communication. I've begun more open-minded. I've helped my family members solve some problems. People come to me with their emotional stuff, and I'm able to listen more because of sales skills. I can go on and on about how business has made me a better person, but that's probably the biggest shift is as you decide to become an entrepreneur, you are also accepting that lifelong contract that is saying, I will learn this to become the absolute best successful person I can possibly be, which in turn means mindset shift. I'm not just buying this one course and I'm going to do a few things. I'm accepting everything that comes with this. That means that I will learn by failing. That's what entrepreneurs do. I will invest in myself. That's what entrepreneurs do. I will implement what I'm learning, regardless of if it's prepared or perfect or not. That's what entrepreneurs do. You're accepting a new mindset, a new lifestyle, a new way of looking at things, and a new way of looking at yourself. So nothing's been better for me for my personal, a feeling of abundance and self-esteem, my life, my partner, my family, my friends. Everything has improved, all because of the one decision of deciding to become an entrepreneur. Success is not a process, it is a decision. The process is to see the result of that decision. So that's the thing.
Joe, you should come up with a something. That was crazy. Yeah.
I do want to start speaking at jails around the country. That's one of my big dreams, and I want it to come true. And I hope Nate or even Daniel come out. We start a whole thing. We start because I need mindset. We need to end a lot of those. Nate, thank God. We ended a lot of those cycles in our family. There's a lot of good that can come from you deciding to become an entrepreneur. It ends generations of suffering for a lot of people, and people don't realize the power they have. Just decide to be successful. Decide to be an entrepreneur. The rest has already been done. It's all these guys already did it. Walk in their footsteps, but the decision is first.
Oh, powerful. Nate.
So one last question is going to be a quick one for you because I know you already know the answer to this one, Joel. What is, for those people who are sitting on the fence about starting an online business and stuff like that, what's the number one decision that you'd give to people who are just sitting on the fence? They're not sure. Just like you said, their back is against the wall. What would you tell those people who are like, who have the mindset of, oh, I don't have money or I don't have time? I want you to tell those people why they need to get started.
I will tell those people this because I think that a lot of times the guru, quote unquote, I'm going to do the air quotes again. The guru feels very disconnected from the audience. And when something is asked like this, they feel like, oh, but you don't understand my situation. Yes, I effing do. I came home and I had $50 in my pocket. And when I started my little measly job, every penny went towards my business that I possibly could because I didn't have a choice. But what I don't want to tell anybody what to think. I don't want to give anybody these sob stories. Instead, I'll instead tell you guys, sure, I understand. That's okay. You don't have the money. It's not the right time. That's fine. The bill is too heavy. Their program, I think, is $1,000. They might have something higher than that. Oh, that's too much. I get it. I'm not going to tell people what to do. What I am going to tell people is a fact, though. I'm going to tell people a fact about life, and they can't deny this. If you think that the bill for working with these guys or working with me is high, that's fine. Wait till they hand you the bill at the end. That's all I'm telling you. And if you sit with that thought long enough, you'll know what the right decision is.
Yeah.
It's powerful. And the craziest thing is it's not always even about the money either, right? That lost time with your kids, right? That trip that you've been trying to plan that never gets freaking planned, right? The family time, right? Like those bills, our time is our most valuable asset. Once it's gone, right? You'll never get back time. You can always borrow money, find money, steal money. Don't do that. But I'm just saying, right? Like money comes and goes. You can always find money, figure out money, make money, even with a job, whatever, right? But once your time is gone, there's no getting that back. right? I lost the first 6 years of my life with my daughter because of a job. Literally because of a job. I missed her school concerts. I literally missed her one birthday the one time, right? And it's that is what's more that was harder for me, right? To just get that right mindset. When my daughter came to me and said, "Daddy, why do you work so much? We never get to see you." That was the turning point for me, having to figure out something for them, right? It wasn't about the money. It was about that time with my kids. They needed their dad around, right? That's the number one goal for us, right? It's not money comes and goes. Fuck, we can make a lot of money, right? Money's great. It solves a lot of problems. But the thing that money actually gives you is that time freedom back, that time back, that to be able to live life on your terms, right? Instead of having a boss control your time and income. I'm sorry, but entrepreneurship, I wish I would have known about entrepreneurship years and years and years ago, right? Because I'd be so much further ahead, right? But that's the thing. Like, I wish they taught this type of shit in school, right? At a younger age, right? Because if I wouldn't have worked a blue-collar job for 25 years if I would have known I could have been my own boss, right?
Absolutely.
I just figured, I got to work for somebody else my whole life. That was my mindset. So I'm glad you brought that up, man. I appreciate you coming on today, right? One last word of advice. What would you give those people who are watching today? What's the one last word of advice before we get off here?
Progress is better than perfection 110% of the time. So I know that's going to happen to everybody all along their journey. It happens to me too. I wake up every day and my day's not going to be perfect. I know that I don't have the right plan in place. I should have done more research. I should have done this, but I end up just doing something, and that keeps the ball rolling. Consistency is key. I know you guys have probably heard that a million times, but it really is. Some of my most imperfect, stupid stuff has ended up being my most successful stuff. So just put it out there.
Awesome. And I was just like me, man. Like, you don't let stuff hold you back, man. I lost my main Facebook account last night for some stupid reason, right? And I was freaking out. But then I started thinking, like, I got other platforms, man. It's not the end of the freaking world, man. As entrepreneurs, we need to learn how to adapt, right? If you can't adapt, you're going to get left behind.
100%. Oh, yeah.
So, Daniel, do you have any last words before we jump off of here?
Such a great interview. I want to thank you, Joe, on behalf of the whole team here and all the students. And thank you for coming up, share such great tips today for free. And make sure you guys follow the infamous Joe, okay? So you can keep learning from Joe. And other than that, I look forward to having a session like this the next time.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate you guys. Take it
Absolutely.
easy.
Thank you all for tuning in today, guys. I hope you got some golden nuggets. Even me and Daniel took some away in this live here. Guys, thank you for tuning in for Rise of Wealth Warriors. We will be live again next Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know who we're bringing on then, but I don't know who can top this one. But, guys, thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day, everybody.
See you.